This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
This is my Montserrat's Stratian Voices, and we are in the studio at Paran Sounds with Calypsonian David Duberry, aka Trixie. Welcome to my Montserrat, Trixie. Wagwan.
Yes, I'm good, thanks.
Tell the fans which part of the island you're from.
Right, well, I'm from the paradise part of Montserrat, Stratham's village. I'm from Stratham's.
Okay. Let's talk Kaiso. This year is a big year at Montserrat, but with the 50th celebrations and all. How did you get into Calypso?
Right, well, I first got into Calypso way back in 1980. When we had an Eastern Day celebration, we had a Calypso competition as well, and I was encouraged to go and sing by accident, because I think Accident wrote my first Accident, and this guy they called Joseph Robertson Offer, who was also a Calypsonian. They wrote my first song. So then I performed on Eastern Day for our Calypso competition in the East.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was encouraged by Wrangler, late great Wrangler,
mm-hmm.
to take part in our national competition, because he was taking part, and I think he wanted more like company to go down to town to practice. So we went down one evening, and I went with him, and that was my first appearance in the national competition. That was 1981. And
that was the year. You remember what Wrangler sang that year?
Yes, Wrangler sang a song they call Moving in Time,
mm-hmm.
and that was for the eliminations. And then his second song was, I think, a song they call Crisis.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Crisis the one that goes, they usually misname it, Defend the Land? Is that the same one? That's a different song.
Defend the Land, yeah, but I think Defend the Land is the correct title, but people more tend to call it Crisis, mainly because of the hook in it. Crisis was the hook.
Right.
And I think then my first song was a song, I think that was written by Dax Carl Markham. I'm trying to remember the name, but it was a soca song. Oh music, what a feeling,
mm-hmm.
and I think that was the title. Oh music, what a feeling, and that was written by Carl Dax Markham. That was 1981.
So how you do the first year?
Right. Well, I always tell people I beat Hustler in that first year. So
mm-hmm.
I passed the eliminations. Hustler didn't, so that was my contribution for that year. So it was the eliminations. Then I think I compete in the semi-finals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We talk a lot today about especially here in the studio, about the level of the competition we have today. Back then, when Kaiso was, Kaiso and Montserrat, when we had a lot more Calypsonians. What was it like in the band house back in them days?
Well, back in those days, it was hard times, because I remember then we used to have an eliminations in the band house.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the organizers, and that used to include Basil Morgan and Furlong, those guys, mm-hmm. they come around to each band house, and you have to sing them one verse and a chorus, and then they decide then if you're good enough for the eliminations,
mm-hmm.
because those days we were thinking about 40 Calypsonians used to register, if not more.
Right.
And so it was too many people for the eliminations. So in the band house, you sing one verse, one chorus, and then they decide if you're good enough for the eliminations.
So if you can't cut it, they send you home?
If you can't cut it, they send you home. And their exact words were, no, not good enough, come again next year.
Nice. Okay, well, we don't, obviously we don't have that many Calypsonians today, but the standard is not really that high. I don't think. You've been a judge for some years now. What do you think about the standard of Calypso on Montserrat these days?
Right, well, I judge mainly the soca monarch for a few years. And honestly, yes, I think our standard can be higher, especially in the soca monarch itself. And I think that has to do with preparation and guys leaving things too late, or the so-called veterans just sitting on the sideline, not taking part or in any way, you know. So, so what you find is a lot of guys who want to be noticed for December, just deciding maybe October, said, "Oh, I want to go and sing Calypso," and they register, and they, you know, and that is it. So I think it's mainly to do with the preparation, and guys taking the art form a bit more seriously, and the so-called veterans getting more involved.
Okay, you have one a song that I like a lot. Your tribute to your friend Wrangler. Tell me about that.
Right, we call it Ode to Wrangler, and yes, that was written by the great Zunki, Mr. Greenaway. Yes, he wrote that song, I think, with the contribution of Carl Markham. They both contributed in that song, and that was written after the death of Wrangler, who was killed in that car accident in 1982. Okay. So I think Zunki knew that Wrangler and I were very good friends, so he decided to write that song for me, and I think up to this day that was my best performance and best Calypso for all these.
So this was done the year after the accident?
Yes, it was done the year after the accident, in 1983. Right.
Okay. So once again, this year is a big year in terms of Calypso, and even in the festival on a whole. You've been out of the Calypso arena for quite some time. You decided to come back this year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right, well, it has a lot to do with the 50th year, and honestly, because like I said, well, I've been going on to Montserrat every year from since I went to live in the UK. I left Montserrat in 1990, so I've been in the UK now for 22 years. So I think in that 22 years I missed one Christmas. Right. And then because of work commitments in the UK, most of my work were with colleges, and you know, you don't get holidays from schools or colleges in the UK until the end of the middle week in December. So it's usually on the 15th, 17th we are having holidays. So then of course the eliminations in Montserrat would have passed. Right. And since I gave that up, and 50th year, I have a bit of time on my hand, and you know, and then with the view of our standard and my supporters, I can name a few, but maybe later, always asking me, when am I coming back? And I also, I think over the years, one of my main supporters was the late Arnolda Fenton. And for the years, she always keep on asking me, "Trixie, when are you coming back to sing Calypso?" So honestly, I think I would dedicate my return to Arnolda Fenton, because I think she was my number one fan. Okay. So you're coming back. You're coming back this year, and you decided to link up the Parent Sons. How is that working out for you so far? Well, it's working out great, because with Parent Sound, with me coming back as well, I think it was one day I had a discussion with Trixie, Montserrat, and we were talking about Calypso in Montserrat, and you know, Montserrat is the only Montserrat Calypsonians are the only Calypsonians who retire away in their 20s, and then call themselves veterans. So I said to Trixie at the time, "Oh, that's a good idea." And so what I did, I called up Eddie Prince Duberry, and I said, "You know, I've got a topic." And he said, well, he asked me what it is. I told him what it was, and he said, send it to him. And within a couple of days, he called me up and said, "Oh, boy, I've got something." And so when he sent back what he wrote, you know, I said, "Oh, it's not bad." So that too also encouraged me to to get involved, and I think so far it has been going good with Parent Sounds.
Right. I mean, we're in the studio right now. You just finished recording. You've got 2 songs here. You happy with you have the songs here?
Yeah. Well, I'm happy. Honestly, I think this is my first time in a studio from since in the early 90s when I was with Storm. Storm was a band that we had in the UK with Prince, Reg, Buccaneer, and those guys. So this is my first time in a studio from then. So you're talking about 20 years, 20 years, and so it's been good. The content so far, the quality is excellent, and so I'm actually enjoying it. I'm thinking that I can go on for another 50 years in the art form if once Parent Sound is available to give me the support that I would need. Right,
but I was talking to you earlier. You're not just coming back because you want to, sing for the 50th. You're looking to compete and compete well. You want to be a contender.
Well, of course. It's like I said to Prince. No, I'm not going to do it if I'm not going to contend. That would be wasting Parent Sound's time, wasting Prince time, and wasting my time. And I'm sure my supporters as well would want me to take it seriously. So I'm doing it seriously. I want to be a main contender for the Soca Monarch.
Yeah, Soca Monarch and the.
Sorry, I'm Soca Monarch and the
Calypso Monarch.
And the Calypso Monarch. Yes.
Right. Okay. In terms of the quality of your material, you're familiar with some of the work that Parent Sounds had done last year?
Well, no, I think Montserrat last year I actually missed the celebrations in Montserrat last year. I missed Christmas, so I didn't go down. So I haven't heard many of the songs that Parent Sounds were involved in. But from what I understand, the quality, the materials that you guys produced were excellent. So like I said, I haven't heard many of the tunes, Silk
Silk and Jaguar.
And Jaguar.
Okay.
But from what I'm hearing from the guys is that the quality was quite good.
Well, you're gonna be part of a group of guys coming out to Parent Sounds this year, about 4 or 5 guys. You excited about that?
Well, I'm excited because, like I said, I think this is something new for Montserrat, and it can only get better. With more Calypsonians getting involved and just taking part in the art form and just basically to put Montserrat even further on the map.
Right. So you've got 2 competition calypsos here. They're going to be, if I understand correctly, they're going to be featured on their compilation album Calypso Explosion 2012. You've also have another song. You're doing a remake of your old classic. What's the title of that?
Yes, it's a remake of Ode to Wrangler. Yes, I've heard something so far, so I'm hoping to put some voice down on that and to see what we get out of it. But so far, for what I'm hearing, it's excellent. And Ode to Wrangler then, when it was done by Zunki and called Dax Markham, it was good, but I'm only hoping that it could even get better with Parent Sounds getting involved.
The one that has the line in it, something has the same line, crisis in it. Was that in the hook?
Right, that was the hook, because when Wrangler came out, like I said before, one of his first songs for the competition was Defend the Land, and crisis in that song was the hook. So I think what Zonky did is that he actually, in writing Ode to Wrangler, he actually mentioned most of Wrangler's songs in that tune, because he one line said he paid tribute to Jim Allen, and one of Wrangler's song was Jim Should Play. Yeah, and another sort of part when he said move in the song said moving in time, and that was one of Wrangler's first song as well.
Right.
Yeah. So it was well written, constructed by Zonky then.
Okay. So you got your songs, you recorded, you're confident you can pull this off this year?
Yeah, but I'm confident.
I mean, you've been out of the competition for some time.
Well, I've been out for a while. I would need a lot of practice. I'm not going to be big-headed and say, that 100% ready. But I have a show coming up in London on the 6th of October, performing with Calypso Beer and a few other Monstrations. It's a show that they usually have in London, that is put on by a guy they call Great. Clifford,
right.
Yes. So I'm hoping, you know, that would give me a bit of practice. And I'm also thinking that I probably would be in Montserrat around about the time of Police Week, and as an ex-police, I probably would try and get onto that show as a guest artist, if they have a Calypso show, of course, to get further practice. Because, like I said, being out of the art form for over 20 years, you know, it's not going to be easy, you know,
right.
But I think with the practice and support from Parent Sounds and a few other guys, I should be able to pull it off.
Well, listening to you in the studio today, I like what I heard. You satisfied with the way you put your songs on?
Well, yes, it has taken a bit of time. You know, the voice is still a bit croaky, but I think with a bit of medication, that should probably smooth things out. And like I said, as I continue to sing and practice this song over the next month, it should, you know, the songs over the next month, it should be okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming to my Montserrat, Trixie. Good luck this year.
Right.
And you know, we look forward to hearing the material.
Okay, man. Great. Thanks very much.
All right.
Great.
So, this is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever.
This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever.
Coming from Babylon, the truth is an offense to man, which the creators already mentioned. I am the truth, the way and the light, and the way could be the light, and the light could be the way. And all this crossword puzzle, my friends, it's very simple. It symbolizes the significance of a true man. What a vision that finds the inspiration of Noel Pond, who became the first known man from this island to really go beyond the realistic moral feelings of a human. What a vision, dear inspired man. On she head, she wears dead. When you hear good music, free up your bam bam. Your waistline can't be static. Free up your bam bam. Woman, wine your waist. Free up your bam bam. Wine your waist. Free up your bam bam. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, people? Import duty well,